When it comes to aircraft, bigger isn't always better. In fact, many times more size equals more problems. In recent decades, the airline industry has shifted its focus on running more flights of smaller size in order to increase efficiency, while military aircrafts can often benefit from increased speed and stealth rather than added size. But practicality be damned, huge planes are freaking awesome. The sheer size, the sprawling wingspan, the mechanical power required to get these things in the air, and the triumph of design and engineering to send such monsters into the sky. Whether they're necessary or not is not up for consideration in today's video. Absolutely not. What we want to see right now is the biggest, the baddest, and the most impressive airplanes to ever grace the skies. So strap in for the 8 largest airlines in the world. Before we get to the planes, make sure you're subscribed. If you find yourself having a good time during this video, go ahead, give us some love by hitting that subscribe button. And lastly, we would love to hear your thoughts on these monster planes in the comments below this video. Now, please fasten your seatbelts. Number 8. Airbus A380-800. The new Airbus is quite appropriate here because the plane's designed to handle as many passengers as is possible to transport by air at one time. Designed with a goal in mind of lessening the congestion of major airports, this double-decker passenger plane has a maximum capacity of 850 people. Most operators choose to go with the smaller capacity layout, allowing about 550 passengers on board. Even the smaller capacity is quite impressive, considering the average flight today carries 91 passengers. Number 7. Boeing 747-8. The Boeing 747 is a classic of the airline industry. It's been in widespread use since the 1970s and remains one of the most recognizable airplanes due to its popularity as a passenger plane. Chances are, if you've flown much at all, you've been aboard one of these beauties nicknamed Queen of the Skies. The 747-8 holds the record for the longest passenger airplane in the world, measuring 250 feet long. While it's not the biggest in terms of passenger capacity, 747-8 can still seat an impressive 467 passengers. Have you ever flown on a Boeing 747? If you have, or even if you haven't, hit that subscribe button right now.
She's conquered everything the test pilots could throw at her. She's survived manufacturing delays and deadlines. For just $333 million, you can have a brand new Boeing 747-8 all of your own.
Number 6. Antonov AN-225 Mira. The AN-225 Mira is the largest plane in general use at the present day. Developed in the 1980s by the Soviet Union with the purpose of moving big and heavy cargo, only one AN-225 was built while the other in production sat unfinished during the collapse of the Soviet Union and was turned into a makeshift storage facility. The 275-foot plane weighs in at 628,317 pounds, making it by far the heaviest plane on this list. Number 5. Antonov AN-124. While not nearly as big as its big brother, the AN-225, the Antonov AN-124 is the largest military transport plane in widespread use. Unlike the 225, this plane is mass-produced and flown frequently all around the world. Perhaps the Antonov AN-124 reached the sweet spot where size was as big as possible to still be manufactured and flown on a large scale. Number 4. Lockheed C-5 Galaxy. This is the quintessential military plane. It's the one you'll see in the news and documentaries as well as in war movies. Capable of carrying 6 Apache helicopters or a couple of tanks, no big deal. The C-5 remains one of the largest and most reliable military planes available today. Since its first flight in 1968, it's been a mainstay in military operations all over the world. Number 3. Hughes H-4 Hercules. With a wingspan over 100 yards and weighing in at 250,000 pounds, the H-4 Hercules is an impressive specimen of an airplane. Designed by the endlessly strange Howard Hughes during World War II, the 8-engine aircraft made of wood was known as the Spruce Goose, because Howard Hughes never did anything that wasn't an absolute spectacle for attention. The design of this plane was entangled in government funding, which later landed Hughes in front of the US Senate, vowing to leave the country forever if the aircraft wasn't a success. It seems as though he didn't hold on to his promise, as the Spruce Goose only left the ground one time for 26 seconds, while Hughes hung around on American soil until his death in 1976. But nonetheless, this is a really cool plane, and it's certainly huge.
A wingspread of 320 feet. That's greater than the length of a football field. And now comes Howard Hughes to begin the tests. As he is to be the pilot, he checks the controls. The hydraulic controls of this biggest airplane ever built have been the critical question. But now they seem okay, says Howard Hughes.
Number 2. HAV Airlander 10. This one isn't what we typically think of as an airplane, but we'll allow it anyway since this sucker is massive. The Airlander, a hybrid helium airship, holds the record for the largest flying machine in the world. While a lot of its mass comes simply from bulk around the middle, it is just about the length of an American football field. This type of airship fell out of favor back in the day due to the Hindenburg catastrophe in 1937, but modern technology might make the hybrid airship both safe and useful in both military and civilian settings. Let's keep an eye on this trend and see where it goes.
Originally developed for the US Army by British company Hybrid Air Vehicles, meet the Airlander 10. It's an airship, but not as we know it, and its distinctive shape has certainly been a talking point. That rotund shape fundamentally changes how air behaves around it. This is a hybrid airship, which actually has a lot in common with conventional fixed-wing aircraft.
Number 1. Stratolaunch. And the largest airplane to ever soar through the clouds is the Stratolaunch. This company was formed in 2011 by the late billionaire and Microsoft co-founder Paul Allen, in order to explore ways in which the average person could tour space. The solution they zeroed in on is to launch spacecraft from this behemoth of an airplane, a sort of flying aircraft carrier. The dual fuselages, connected by a seemingly never-ending wingspan, stretch side to side 383 feet, well over the length of a football field, and the plane weighs nearly 500,000 pounds. The aircraft, which is known as Rock, has only one flight under its belt and has a seemingly uncertain future. But I'm sure a plane that big isn't going to sit idly by for very long.
Holy crap!
So there you have it, the largest planes in the world. Now it's time to let me know what you think in the comments. Do you have a favorite on this list? Did we miss one you think should be on here? Or maybe that silly helium airship is a balloon and not an airplane in your opinion. Let's discuss all of it in the comments below this video. Now, make sure you're subscribed, and we'll see you right here next time for another great video.